What's up, guys? Fish Keeper is here, and I wanted to do an update on my Blue Dreams Neo Caridina tank, aka my CO2 injected tank. Basically, I wanted to run down some of the plants that I have, some of the plants that I've actually been selling, how my Blue Dreams colony is going, CO2, all that. So, first off, I finally have some nice growth from the Sterigine repens or S. repens. Let me adjust the color there so you guys can see it. Look at that, it looks sexy. But, you know, it's still only growing a little. That's with CO2 pumping and everything. You can see the CO2 right there. It's actually kind of, the diffuser's kind of clogged right now with algae, but I've been lazy. And I'm kind of just waiting on the CO2 to run out of this tank because I'm going to have to take a long trip to get my CO2, both of my 20-ounce tanks refilled. Dick's Sporting Goods stopped refilling tanks in accordance to California, gun laws and stuff like that. So the only way for me to get CO2 now is from paintball, like I guess places, paintball fields or games or companies, or what do you call that? Paintball game facilities, I guess. Yeah. So I'm waiting to get both of them to be empty so I can go take a trip up there. The nearest one is like 20 or 30 minute drive, so I'm not really excited about that. But let's talk about the plants. So not recently, but since you last seen this tank, if you're a subscriber, I added a few new plants in here. Nessia crassicalis. I think that's how you pronounce that. It's right here. Growing wonderful. It's actually growing like a bush. I think it was supposed to be the red species here, but I'm not getting any kind of redness out of it. Once they get really close to the light though, they end up like this, pink. And the middle is Atra, so don't let that confuse you. This is the crassicalis or whatever. I believe it was like species red or something like that. Or super red or something like that. But I don't see that. I guess maybe you need a stronger light. My lights are pretty good. I mean, I consider it highlight, but still not growing as great. Some algae in there, but you see back there the Nessia golden, species golden. Now that one I'm super excited about, but growing so slow. Honestly, growing like just a little bit faster than the Nubias. It's been really, I've had it in there for a long time. I probably sold half, like I've doubled the amount of this species and the amount that's just grown to where you can see it. Like it was short and it's finally growing, but it's still taking forever to grow versus this guy I've already cut like 4 or 5 times and sold out some stems. But yeah, so this is the Rosenvog, AR Rosenvog. I love the color. This thing is so beautiful. I don't know how to propagate this, to be honest. I don't see where I can kind of get it and cut it, so for now it's just staying really nice. It's also fighting to keep its place pretty well. The Hygrophilippian Phyta is really trying to take over this tank, but it's not taking over this space, but that's for sure. This Rosenvog, Alternanthera Rosenvog is really hanging in there, pushing back. Sterigine repens. Back there, Ludwigia Super Red Mini. There you go, that's what it's called. Atra in the back. Growing really thin, kind of bushy like. I wish it was not growing like that. But what I've learned with Atra is it tends to want to fall. You can see there's a lot of Atra coming this way. It wants to do that effect, like that, like reaching under effect kind of thing. So I end up cutting them and putting them over here. And once they get too big, I just take them out, put them in my display tank, my little UNS tank, or I sell it on auctions. Now the one that I'm really excited for, the plant that I'm really excited for, is this guy right here. This is Ludwigia senegalensis. Senegalensis? Yeah. Really excited about it. I only got one stem because it was like almost $20 for the stem. I didn't want to pay like 50 or 60 for 3 stems. I figured it's Ludwigia, I should be able to grow it. Let me actually turn this other light on. Give me one sec. So there it is, the Senegalensis. My tank's kind of dirty right now, but yeah, it is what it is. That's pretty much all the plants I have. Succulents, like I said, I'm really excited about because one of the main reasons why I'm excited is, besides the fact that it looks so nice, is that if I get it growing, you know, I could probably get some nice money for it. Which, again, one of the big goals in my fish keeping and shrimp breeding is to be able to just, you know, get better tanks, get better lighting, get CO2 in all my tanks, stuff like that. So, you know, breeding or propagating plants just goes all into that. So eventually I want to be able to get some of these out of here and get some nice lighting, or maybe not lighting, because the lighting here is decent enough. I actually attached this Chihiros that I've had for a while now. It's really good. It's a really good supplemental light. Like, by itself in this tank, it wouldn't do as good as I would want it to do, although it does penetrate pretty deep. You can see without it, you see that it's like dark. It's alright. By itself, it just wouldn't do as good of a job. Let me turn the light back on. Sorry about that. Yeah, so I don't have it on the timer, that Chihiros. So Chihiros, it's a really good light though. If you have a smaller tank, I'd suggest it. The only problem with it that I see is that it's all white lights, but they are super bright white lights. They're not like yellow lights, so still looks decent. I would like a little more blue though. I like blue. I like small amount of blue. See, like over here, you can really see those colors because there's blue, reds, you know, and whites. Versus if you just had just a white, like for example, that would be it right there. It would just be yellowish. So with the addition of the lights that I already have in here, gives a better light. So Chihiros is really good. I think I've grown a lot of plants in other tanks that where like I don't really care about their look, and they still grow fine. I just feel like visually it looks better to have them in it's just like a supplement, not really actually the main light. Unless that's all you can get, then that's fine. Even though it is like $25, I think, for that light. So my next step is either get enough money to get a CO2 system for my UNS 5N that's located in my bedroom. But honestly, all my plants over there have been growing pretty well, so I don't have a big reason to do CO2 over there, besides if I wanted to just really make a lot of maintenance nightmare over there by growing stem plants too fast, just like I have here. So maybe I won't get CO2 over there. I would want to replace this tank eventually. I mean, the soil down there, the substrate's gonna be done pretty soon. It's gonna be exhausted soon. I'm gonna need to replace that. I don't know how I'm going to do it yet, but I think that when it comes to that point, I'm going to want to replace this whole tank. I'm looking at my options. There isn't many options. My dimensions here aren't the best. If UNS made a tank that was this tall, or ADA, I would go with that, but most nice rimless clear tanks go for width and flatness and shallow instead of actual like tall tanks or column tanks, I guess. So, you know, there's that problem for now. But I would want to see if I could get that, or maybe something that's not as high, just kind of like up here somewhere. But we'll see. For now, I think a nice twin star light would be nice if I got that. I do have Tangerine Tigers and Blue Dream Neocaridinae that are going to be ready to be taken to the store soon, probably within the next month or so. So I am going to have some kind of credit pretty soon. But I think what I'll do is I'll just save the credit and keep stacking to get to the point where I can get something like a twin star light. Or again, I could just keep upgrading the UNS 5N tank that I have, which the only real upgrade I could do over there would probably be get another Oase Filto Smart, since the little filter that it has on it already kind of looks ugly. It doesn't look as nice, so I might do that, but not sure, because it is a display tank and I don't know what I'm going to do with it yet. So yeah, so probably just going to sell some plants pretty soon. My Neocaridinae are recovering from me harvesting like 30 shrimp from here. I think it was last time I did it. That was like 2 months ago maybe. So they've replenished enough. There's a ton of babies everywhere. You can see them there. And there's some algae, but that algae doesn't seem to bother the sturgeon weapons too much. So that's the update I have for now, guys. I know it's not the best update, but it's an update. Atra starting to spread a little too much, probably kind of like the Hygrophila piantophyta. That Atra starting to really incrementally take over the back area. You can see it just taking over this whole area right here. It shouldn't be going that way. It should just go straight up. But Atra, I'm starting to realize it grows more lengthy, like more. It branches out more than it actually, grows upwards towards the light. So it's kind of crazy. But I'm gonna have to keep that in check. It's also kind of hard to sell Atra because I'm like, most people expect to get like a stem, and I am providing people stems with my auctions, but they're kind of sideways stems, which actually kind of might be good. I wonder if you can actually plant an Atra like stem like that. Can I just place that on the ground? If anybody knows, let me know in the comment section below. Let me know if you've grown Atra that way. Let me explain better. Like if you've ever cut when they're parallel, like longitudinally like that. Have you ever cut that and like just placed it like a mat, and has it grown? Let me know. That'd be interesting. I don't have space to do that here or direct light anymore. I'm running out of light space over here. This is all my like nursing area. Whenever plants outgrow this section, right, I take them out, put them in here, and as soon as they reach the surface, like these guys are already almost reaching the surface, I put an auction out and I send them out. I ship them out. I get a nice $15 to $20, $25 for my packages, my packs, plant packs, and then continue from there. But I'm running out of space because the Hygrophila piantophyta just grows like crazy. Especially over here, it just takes over. Over here it does as well, but a lot slower, more manageable. You can't even see. Sorry, the reflection is pretty bad. But yeah, so just hanging in there right now. Messing with my blue dreams. My blue dreams are starting to get really nice and blue now that I've been kind of selling and culling a lot of the lighter blues. I'm starting to really get some deep blues out of these guys. Next, I'm going to start taking out some of these dark ones. Although this is like sapphire, so this is probably a little too dark, but I let her in there because she's a female, and then she still technically pumps out a lot of babies. In here, I also have some fish now. Well, I had Emerald Eye Rasboras, but I sent them out to a family, actually. My family member who has a lot of big tanks. They were pretty much max grown here. They're going in a nice 40-gallon tank now, so they'll grow a lot bigger to their maximum potential. And here right now, I have some Rasbora SB Rasboras. They were originally in my UNS 5N, but I just figured they look nicer in here. They really do. I just don't like that they do this corner thing where they just hang on the corner, but eventually they'll chill out. They really like it when I trim the plants so they have more space to kind of like swim around. But for right now, it seems like they're doing really good. I also have a neon blue goby in here, Stiphodon species, somewhere in the back. It's so hard. Like, I've thought about moving him out of here and putting him in my UNS small tank. Oh, look, there's also an Otto Cinclus that's just been here for years now, or for a year now. I thought about getting the goby out and that algae eater, but they honestly have been alive for a long time in here, so they found a way to stay alive. They get fed. I mean, I do also feed flu ball bug bites in here, so a lot of that runoff or leftover goes to the bottom and then they eat it. There's also a stone cat in here, an Asian stone catfish in here, which I thought was long gone. I think that thing is almost 2 years old. And I thought it was long gone. At one point I saw it up here when I turned the lights on. Like when I didn't follow the timer. Like these lights are on a timer. One time I turned it on just for some reason. I forgot what it was doing. And I just happened to see this Asian stone cat. And I was like, what the heck? That thing was dead. I thought it was, or like sold, or I don't know what. I didn't know I still had it. But it's in there. And like I said, the Stiphodon goby would look really nice in my UNS 5N on my nightstand. But trying to get a fish out of this dense jungle is just not going to happen. Not without destroying everything and uplifting all the plants. And so I just let him be. But yeah, that's the jungle for now, guys. This is where I get most of my plants. I sell some of these plants in auctions. But if you're part of the band app, Freshwater Shrimp and Plants, I think it's called, I post a lot of auctions there. Not often though. Actually, I do it probably like maybe at the most I think I've done was 4 or 5 times a month. That's because I have small tanks. Maybe if I had bigger tanks, I would probably sell a lot more. But for now, this is fine. I'm not trying to run a business. I'm just trying to keep going. And like recently, I sold some plants and I bought some flu ball bug bites because I can't find them locally anywhere. I had to pay a little extra to get it shipped and stuff. So I think I paid like $10 or $12 for it. But yeah, it is what it is. That's about how much I get for my plants anyways. So it's not too bad. Alright guys, so I'll leave you with that. Like and subscribe if you can. Hit the notification bell and I'll catch you on the next video. Peace.